Professor Fielding, we found something. What is it? Really? Oh, let's take a look.
Yes, over here.
Oh.
What do you think, Professor?
What do you think?
Check it out.
Kinda looks like...
A spoon.
Sure does.
Please tell me it's English.
It's English.
Silver?
Yep, definitely silver.
And most importantly, how old?
1700, maybe 1710.
Hey. We've only been here a week and we've already found a 300-year-old artifact.
Still 100 years after the colony at Jamestown was established.
Okay, guys, if archaeology teaches us anything, it's patience.
My father spent the last 25 years of his life looking for this lost colony. This spoon is a sign. It's flashing. You're close. Keep digging. This is good news. Okay, who wants to do the honors?
Go ahead.
Now that it's completely exposed, Carrie can gently remove the artifact. Okay, now, close your eyes. Know that you are the first person in 3 centuries to hold that spoon. Imagine the very beginnings of a colony. The men clearing brush, surveying the land, mapping the settlement, the women setting up an outdoor school, and preserving food for the upcoming winter. The last person who held that lived and loved and felt suffering and joy. What you're holding in your hand is someone's life story. That's what we do. That's what we do. We find clues about lives lived long ago. So let's keep digging. There are stories underground just waiting to be discovered.
Mom showed me around the other day. She has really good taste.
Pauline's actually my stepmom. So obviously my dad had good taste too.
Well, the first time I saw Oscar Fielding, I was looking through my window and I saw this strikingly handsome man wandering through my fields, carrying a shovel and talking to himself about a lost colony. I fell in love with him right then and there.
And now here you are, back in my field, continuing the work that brought him here in the first place.
So any progress today?
Getting closer?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Would you please put this in Dad's old lab? I gotta get the kids back.
Okay, I will.
Thank you. Hey guys, don't forget to update your notes. And yes, they will count when we get back to campus.
You know, we would have gotten to that spoon a lot sooner if we'd have sent up the thermal imaging drone.
Want to see the best tool in an archaeologist's kit?
Emma, I heard you were back in town. Been wondering when I'd see ya. It's Nikki. My dad used to run...
Run the garage. Right, Nikki. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just been so long.
Wow, you've hardly changed. Apparently you can't say the same thing about me.
Oh, Nikki.
Hey, gorgeous.
Hey.
What's special?
My shift ends at 9. If you're free, maybe we could...
Excuse me a sec. Emma Fielding.
Well,
What brings you back here?
work. I'm doing a dig. I didn't expect to see you.
Just washed up with the tide.
Last I heard, you were in Florida.
Yeah, she just came back a few months ago.
Doing salvage, right?
She underwater exploration for a petroleum company until oil prices dropped, and then on to salvage. But anyway, woke up one day and then said it's time to move back home.
I'm glad you did. It's so good to see you.
You too. So you find time between teaching classes and raiding tombs to get married and have kids?
Not married, no kids. Well, actually 11, my dig team. You?
Long story, too long, but the skinny version is Will Briggs is riding solo and as usual looking to reinvent himself. But I gotta say, coming back, finding you here, cherry on the sundae.
Oh, don't talk to me about cherries. That time we ate a whole bag your mom got to put in the pie.
She still remembers that.
My stomach remembers.
Man, I couldn't wait for you to come here every summer. I remember I used to write it on my calendar. M Day. 5 months, 4 months, 3 months.
Oh, but we're so young. We're teenagers.
We're not so young now.
Tell that to my students. Half of them think I'm an antiquity.
So how long are you here for?
Several weeks. I'm back to Kensor College. I just hope I find proof of the colony's existence before then.
Look at you, huh? Professor Emma Fielding. This is you?
Yes.
Good. Hey, so listen, you want to do dinner tomorrow night? We shouldn't go another 20 years without reconnecting.
I'd like that. Sure. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, you got no business here.
What?
You got no business here.
I remember you. Augie, right?
Who do you think you are, coming back here and digging things up, things that don't belong to you?
Hey. Are you okay?
Augie! Augie!
Emma!
Oh, you're an angel on caffeinated wings.
Try. I hear you saw Will Briggs last night.
Village news feed?
Knows all, sees all. You had quite a crush on Will once, if I recall.
I was a teenager.
Well, what word is he still very attractive?
It's very sweet of you to be interested in my love life, but as you know, I am happily single. Do you remember Tony Markham?
He worked with your father.
Yeah, he's head of my department now. He's on his way to observe and stay overnight. Tony's okay. He's always been supportive, and visiting dig sites is a part of his job.
Is he staying at the motel?
That's the real problem. We've taken all the available rooms, and Tony's kind of particular.
He can stay in my guest room, I suppose, if that would help you out.
Really? He would love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. But you know, I'd much rather have you stay here with me.
I know, but I'm old-fashioned. Even though they're post-grads, I feel like I need to keep an eye on my kids.
One day, no one's gonna be digging. I mean, the technology's already there. It'll be done with remote sensing, totally non-invasive techniques.
It'll be so remote that you won't even have to show up. You'll be staring at a laptop in your parents' basement when I call you to tell you I've made the archaeological find of the century.
With your two little hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're more like Fielding every day.
I only wish.
Emma!
Tony. Good to see you.
Thank you. I couldn't resist coming for a visit, given what we hope we may have buried here.
I'm so glad you did. Everyone, you all know Professor Markham, of course.
Nice to see you again, sir.
Oh, nice to be seen. Emma's father, Oscar Fielding, was my professor, and he truly was a giant in American archaeology. Now, there are those in our field who didn't believe his theory of a lost colony, but, well, those of us who knew him were moved by his passion. And something that his daughter inherited in spades. Wow, that was a terrible pun. I apologize. Give me a tour?
Sure.
Great. So, have you found anything interesting?
We've made a few 18th century finds.
Well, that's something.
I feel the clock ticking. I'd like to be moving a bit faster.
Well, I always feel that way. What is it?
Hey, did anyone come back last night? Something's not right. This ground has been freshly turned. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Somebody call 911.
I got it.
All right, then I'll find out. Emma?
Excuse me.
Coroner's office has a few questions.
Excuse me. Special Agent Jim Connor. I'm part of a rapid deployment team that deals with theft, forgery, and trafficking of antiquities.
Are you saying that Augie had something to do with the trafficking of antiquities?
Well, I'm here to find that out. Sheriff, I'm not going to get in your way. We're accustomed to dealing with these types of crimes.
On archaeological digs?
At important ones. The local office tipped me off with the body. That's why I'm here.
I see. Well, I'll be happy to cooperate. Hopefully that'll be a two-way street. This is Emma's project. She's the archaeologist.
I know who you are. Nice to meet you, Professor Fielding.
You too.
She's also one that found Augie, the deceased.
Must have been a shock.
Yeah, well, obviously most of my finds are mummified, but I studied forensics, seen my share of dead bodies.
So forensics, huh?
Ancient and modern.
You considering this a homicide?
Most likely.
Any idea the cause of death?
Well, large bruise on the forehead, a gash in the back of the head.
You know, his clothes were soaked through, and I saw the back of his head when the coroner's team was taking his body out of the trench. Somebody gave him an incredibly hard whack.
So the bruise on the forehead, you think it happened at the same time?
No,
No. Why?
I did that to him. Augie stopped me as I was heading to my motel room. It was kind of aggressive.
Emma.
He jabbed his finger in my face, so I slapped his arm away, and he lost his balance and fell. That's when he dinged his head. I offered to help, but didn't want it. He just ran away.
So he threatened you?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that I had no business here, that I was taking things that don't belong to me.
Okay, then. I may have to ask you a few more questions, Emma, but you're not going anywhere, are you?
No.
Good.
Sheriff. Hey. I'm worried about the kids.
I'll post a deputy up here during the day while you're digging, all right?
Thank you. Agent Connor?
Yeah.
I'm not a suspect, am I, because of the bump on Augie's head?
Well, let's see. Last to see the deceased, first to find the body. Do you think that qualifies you as a suspect?
Well, not to an astute detective.
No?
Why would I bury his body on my site?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought about that.
You had me going there. You have a good poker face.
I practice in the mirror.
So the map you found, it's helping?
I wouldn't be here without it. My dad knew there was a colony, but he didn't know where on the coast they'd settled.
That's why he never chose a site, even after all those years of research.
Yeah. I just got lucky to find a map that seems to pinpoint the location of the colony.
Yeah. You know, your father was treated poorly at the end of his life. When his colleagues dismissed his theory on the lost colony, well, his reputation took a terrible hit. No, I always thought that he deserved better than that. But I do hope that that's not the main reason why you're here. To prove him right.
Well, I'm going to prove it for myself, too. I mean, not to mention the prestige it'll bring the college. And a find like this is important to the history of our country.
Of course. But...
Look, I know they're going to solve this soon, and we will find evidence of the colony.
No, I'm sure you're right. I'm thinking that I'll stick around just to be sure that continuing the dig is the right decision.
So why would Augie be buried on this site, do you think?
Well, you certainly wouldn't want to bury a body on an archaeological dig site unless you wanted it discovered. There's a message there. And I'm beginning to think it's aimed at Emma Fielding.
Thanks. I need to report a robbery.
Where?
At the dig site. Somebody stole my map.
Was it valuable?
The original is, but that's back at the State Archives. This is just a copy.
Why would someone want it?
I don't know.
Turns out you were right, Emma. Coroner's report shows Augie Clements died of blunt force trauma.
Hi. You guys with Professor Fielding's team?
Uh-huh.
That's cool. Hey, was she still out on the dig site when you guys left?
I think so, yeah.
Once she starts working, she kind of loses track of time.
A bit obsessive, actually.
She is not obsessive. She just loves her work more than anything else, that's all.
Yeah, that's the impression I'm getting. Thanks.
Okay, totally reassessing Professor Fielding. When she's not in the trenches, she's hanging out with that guy?
You actually think that old guy is cool? Come on, you've got to be kidding me.
Hey.
Sorry I'm late.
Actually thought I'd lost out to a bit of old pottery or something. You okay?
Everyone, listen up. Quiet down. We lost one of our own last night. You all knew him. He didn't deserve to pass like that. And, well, here's to Augie.
Sorry. Do you mind if we get out of here? I kind of lost my appetite.
Yeah. Hey, so what's going on? What's bothering you?
I'm the one who found Augie.
What?
I think he was murdered.
Wow, that must have been horrible for you.
Yeah.
You know, I was on my boat all day. I didn't even know Augie died until they toasted him a minute ago.
Yeah, he was buried at my dig site. And somebody stole my map.
Your map?
Yeah, I found it in the Maine archives. It pinpoints the exact location of the settlement. At least I hope it does. Only my students and a few other people have even seen it.
You think the two are related?
I don't know. Somebody's very interested in what I'm doing.
Maybe they think there's something out there worth killing for.
Like what?
Gold coins?
Like, you mean like we used to look for when we were kids?
Yeah, a chest full of gold coins given to the colonists by the Queen of England.
Everybody knows that's a myth.
Maybe not everybody.
Where's Sheriff Stannard?
He's at the coroner's office. I just heard the call come in. I came down here to see if you're all right.
I'm fine, but
Anything missing?
I don't think so, but when you add it all up...
You, or at least your side, is being targeted by somebody.
You seem to be finishing my thoughts.
It's great minds.
You know, do you really believe that? I have a proposal.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
It's about your investigation, an offer of help.
You think I need help?
Well, I mean, it's been almost a whole day since I found Augie. And doesn't the trail go cold after 48 hours?
Oh, I see. After 48 hours, I have to drop the case, but you can pick it up after 2 centuries.
Not a competition, Agent Connor. A collaboration will help us both. You get to save your case, and I keep my college's grant committee from shutting down my dig.
I am willing to take testimony from reliable witnesses, Professor Fielding, but I also have people that I have to answer to. And the Bureau doesn't really allow us to collaborate with amateur detectives.
I'm hardly an amateur. I'm a detective just like you. I investigate and I make deductions that lead to solutions. Murder and the motivation behind it are the same today as they were when humans lived in caves. Look, it's a one-time offer.
I'll think it over. In the meantime, don't touch anything in here. I'm gonna have a team come in here and dust for fingerprints.
Hey, everybody. Look, I know what happened at the dig site was upsetting for all of us. The sheriff is investigating, and he's posting a deputy at the dig site to keep an eye on things. But if anyone feels uncomfortable going back, I completely understand.
We're with you, Professor.
Okay, let's go.
Who could he be trying to impress, I wonder? It's gonna take more than hair gel.
You thought about what I said?
What do you know about Emma's map?
Map? What map?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
And I think she's very attracted to you, Mr. Griggs. I call that opportunity. If you're bold enough to take advantage.
Emma, thought you might have considered taking the day off.
We have artifacts to find. Students were all up for it.
Well, it's one thing working yourself to exhaustion, but it's another to have the expectation that your students will. If you're not going to stop, at least give them the rest of the day off.
Well, I mean, still have a few hours to go.
Well, given what happened yesterday, I think it's best.
All right, gang. Let's call it a day. I'll meet you back at the motel in a few hours.
What's that about?
Told you you'd regret not taking me up on my offer.
That's not exactly why I'm here.
No?
Nope. I was hoping that you could share some of your techniques.
Really? Detective to detective?
Detective to detective.
All right. First lesson is you're never going to find anything unless you're willing to get down and dirty. Get down here. All right. We take up the dirt an inch at a time across the whole pit. If you find something, even if you want to, don't take it out until it's fully exposed. The depth of the artifact is what determines its age.
Okay, inch at a time.
Yeah, carefully. Then we take the dirt, we put it in this bucket. And when we're done, we sift it through these screens in case we missed any small artifacts like bone fragments or buttons. So, how'd you end up in the Antiquities Division?
I got shot. I was chasing a bad guy.
Must've been hard on your family.
It was hard on my son. But you know, we'd grown apart during the divorce I had with his mom. So the silver lining to taking a bullet was it brought us back together. You know, he's at college now, but I see him a lot.
So, this assignment is sort of like being put out to pasture.
It's not the metaphor I'd use, no.
Sorry.
I gotta admit, though, I wasn't thrilled at first. But it sure beats a desk job.
And now?
Now I'm digging it.
Oh, you did not just say that. Oh, it's going to be a long afternoon.
So what exactly are we looking for here?
Proof that there were settlers here before the colonists landed at Jamestown.
So how do you know Will Briggs?
Oh, we're old friends. Spent summers here as a teenager up until college. Why?
Oh, just getting a feel for the local population.
Stop.
What?
I think you found something. Earthenware. Made on site. Looks like the right era.
How can you tell that by looking at that? What, do you have X-ray vision?
No, I've studied these. A lot of them, so even if it's broken or incomplete, I can tell from the rim what it should be.
Well, I guess I'm a natural.
Well, you're a very good teacher.
A buried picture? Do you think it's part of the lost colony?
It might be. We still have to uncover it, document it, and date it, and then that'll take a few days.
You and your father. Only patient when you're digging. You are so much like him. Makes me worry.
Worry?
Sometimes I think that you don't take the time to create a life for yourself here in the present.
I have a life. My work, my research, my students. I have you.
You deserve to find someone special.
Okay, look, it's not like I haven't tried. But the way I work and travel, it's really hard to build a lasting connection.
I know. I remember how your father was.
How did you two make it work?
Oscar and I were equal partners. We shared it all. You can have something that special, too. Someone who knows your heart.
That does sound nice. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go check on the dig site before I head back to the motel.
And I'm gonna head inside. Oh, good night, Emma.
Good night.
Okay, you be careful up there.
I will.
Okay, good night.
Hey! It's private property. What are you doing?
Name's Graham Tickner. Pauline knows me.
You're trespassing, Mr. Tickner.
She never had a problem with me being around here before.
She does now.
Nothing here is yours until you find it. If you find it.
Graham Tickner. He's a picker. He scours the towns and villages for anything that the dealers didn't get to first.
He's been known to forge his own antiques occasionally for unsuspecting tourists.
So why would he be snooping around the dig?
He'll do whatever it takes to get his hands on anything he can sell to the highest bidder. He offered me $50 for my goddess statue.
Goddess statue?
My most precious gift from Oscar. You know, I keep it there so I can see it every morning.
Lakshmi, goddess of prosperity.
Absolutely right, Tony.
Well, she's lovely.
Thank you.
Tony, I think I may have found something at the dig site today.
Oh.
A piece of pottery. If it's what I think it is, it may bring us significantly closer to our goal.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for meeting me.
I got you a coffee.
Oh, thank you. So, I've been thinking.
Oh. Okay, go on.
Okay, a body was buried at my site. Then my map was stolen and my hotel room was trashed.
So connect the dots, they all connect to you.
Or maybe it's not me. What if it's my dig site? I keep thinking about something Will Briggs said about buried treasure.
Buried treasure?
The Queen's gold coins. Supposedly she sent them with the colonists to help fund the settlement. My father debunked that story, but Will said a lot of people still believe it.
So they think that you're after the gold coins, not the settlement.
Well, Augie said I was taking things that don't belong to me.
So the competition knocked off Augie, and they stole your map and searched your room.
To see if I'd found anything.
It's plausible. I mean, it doesn't give me a suspect, but...
Graham Tickner. He's a picker. He buys, steals, and forges antiques and artifacts. I found him poking around my site last night.
You found him?
Well, he was trespassing. I wasn't. I think we need to go talk to him.
We?
Or me, if you don't want to come along.
Listen, I appreciate that you want to be involved in this. I do.
A man may have been killed because of what I'm doing. Obviously, I don't want my project shut down, but I also don't want anybody else to get brought into this.
Okay, all right. I get it, but I got it covered.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Somebody's been digging.
Okay, I think the best thing we can do here...
Photograph and log any unauthorized digging. But for now, just leave everything as it is. Emma, between the murder and your map, we got to think of the students.
The students come first, I know, and I agree with you. But the sheriff's deputy is here all day. There's no risk to the students.
Well, we're going to have to tell them about this.
I will.
Everybody, come here. I want to show you something remarkable.
Oh. Wow.
Professor.
Hey, Agent Connor. I think Tickner came back last night and was digging around my site looking for something. I thought you were going to question him.
Sheriff Standard's bringing him in this afternoon. Don't worry.
Well, I am worried. My department head is close to shutting me down because of what's going on. Do you have any new leads?
No match of the prints found in your room. Whoever trashed it wasn't in the system. And no prints at the shed. Probably wore gloves.
Okay, well, Augie's clothes were soaked. Was it seawater?
It was. Is that all?
Was there anything in the pockets?
Just, you know, bits and pieces.
Perfect. Bits and pieces are my specialty.
All right. Nice. Assorted contents, unknown.
Oh, my favorite kind. Okay, we've got comb, dime, definitely 21st century, credit card, expired. Oh. Can you open this evidence bag? Late 1600s, wine flask.
You can tell all that by looking at that.
You mean you can't?
Yeah, it's funny.
The question is...
What would they be doing in Augie's pocket?
Yes, and they wouldn't unless he was hanging out with someone who was digging test holes on Pauline's land.
Like your friend, Mr. Tickner.
Exactly.
Connor. Yeah, okay, I'll be right there. They found Augie's jacket.
Are you two a team now?
No, nothing like
not a
that.
team.
No. Ah, that's a jacket Augie had on the night I saw him. But not when I found him the next day.
I know you're going to tell me anyway. So, what do you think happened?
Maybe the jacket came off when the killer dragged the body off the boat, through the surf and up to the dig site.
And then what would you deduct from that?
Killer had access to a boat.
Killer had access to a boat. So it could be anybody in Maine.
Okay, let me think for a minute. I was gonna drag a 109-pound body along the sand. I would have to leave something. Connor! Come here. I want to show you something.
Yeah.
Look there.
Yeah.
See it? It's a bead. There.
It's a bead. Maybe a tourist dropped it.
No, tourists don't come to this beach. You can't swim. The current's too strong. Look how it's worn down on the outside. This is from a string of Greek worry beads. Yeah, you move them around in your hand and they make a rhythm. The beads swing against each other and they make a clicking sound.
Name's Graham Tickner. Pauline knows me.
Graham Tickner had a string of these beads. I saw them. So this bead could be what links Tickner to Augie's murder.
Circumstantially, maybe. I mean, if that was Graham Tickner's bead, how do you know he just didn't drop it walking down the beach?
Well, maybe so, but...
You know, you're right. Our careers are more similar than I thought. But there's one important difference. Your evidence has to stand up to peer review. Mine has to stand up in a court of law against a defense attorney. So a bead is not going to cut it. Listen, don't be tempted to go chasing after these suspects. These people are not playing around.
Hey! What's going on?
Have a look.
No! Oh, no, they took the picture.
But we photographed it.
And documented it.
Which means very little without the actual artifact. The extraction's been compromised. There's no way for us to know the soil level that it was found at or be able to cross-reference it with our other finds.
So we have no way to date it.
Yeah, I mean, even if it turned up with a private collector somewhere.
It has no archaeological value at all, as if we'd never found it.
So, unfortunately, this brings us back to square one. Which only means we have to work harder than we did before, right?
All right, let's do it.
Guys, everybody's already been working a lot of overtime, so I think perhaps we should take this chance to be able to reconsider our options. All right, let's pull the plug for today. Good work, everybody.
Okay, sure.
It's unfortunate. Emma, I know that you're upset.
Tony, I know this is your department, but this is my map, my grant, and my dig. And I'll tell my students when they're done.
I had to step in. All right, and I will again if you push your students or yourself beyond what the college deems to be acceptable limits.
This is important. You know we're never going to get the funding or the permission to do this dig again. That this is the last chance to prove the settlement existed, to prove my father was right.
Emma, I hate to say this, but you are far too influenced by your desire to rescue your father's reputation.
Don't you think my reputation's on the line too?
Of course it is, as is mine. I lobbied the board hard to have them approve this dig. You have to pull yourself together.
I thought you were here to support me.
Of course I am.
By making me doubt myself?
By saving your career.
Feels like you're trying to end it.
Emma, I'm at a loss. But you could say that to me after all I've done to champion you. When the board shuts you down, don't expect me to defend you.
Briggs Dive Shop.
Bada.
Impressive.
Couldn't wait to show you. You know, you're the first person I ever went on a dive with.
Aw, it's a big step.
As in, are you out of your mind?
As in, I applaud your courage.
Thank you. Come in, I want to show you around. I did my research, tourism's up. I just need the right website and I'm going to be booked solid. Which is where you come in, or at least I hope so. That story about the gold coins and the Queen of England. I mean, nothing like a little myth to get the tourists excited. I was thinking that maybe you could write something for the website, something about the possibility of there maybe being a chest full of coins. You know, you being an archaeologist, it would really mean a lot. Look, I know, we haven't seen each other in a long time, but seeing you the other day really brought it back, you know, how I used to feel about you.
Look, well, I'd like to help you out. I really would, but to put my reputation behind a lie, I just can't do it. Sorry.
Emma, I'm glad I caught you. Yeah, it's really blowing here. I'm worried about your equipment, your tarps, anything not tied down.
I'm on my way. Don't try to do anything on your own. Be right there.
Okay, bye.
I need to report a fire. Pauline Fielding's house, Twin Coves Point. Please hurry. Pauline! Pauline! No, 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 no. Pauline! Oh, no. Okay, okay. Are you okay? Oh, Pauline, can you hear me, sweetie? Okay. They're coming. They're coming. Pauline, it's Emma. They're taking you to the hospital. I'm going to be right behind you.
Let me drive you to the hospital.
Thank you.
Smoke inhalation and minor burns. We'll keep her here for now, just to be sure that there aren't any complications. Now, with some care, I'm sure she should be just fine.
Oh, thank goodness.
What about Tony Markham?
Superficial burns, and he's about to be released.
When can I see Pauline?
She needs to rest right now. I'll let you know when you can see her.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, thank you.
So you and Pauline are really close, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, my parents got divorced when I was 10. My mom got remarried, and my dad and I were just sort of lost for a while. And then Pauline came into our lives. I just can't imagine my life without her. Tony.
Hey.
Hey. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to accuse you of sabotage.
I understand. I do. I understand. I know it's been difficult for you.
Thank you. Thank you for your understanding, but mostly thank you for saving Pauline. I will never forget what you did.
I spoke with the sheriff, and he said that the fire chief was convinced that this was arson. So, Emma, I mean, a murder, vandalism, and now this. I mean, for the college and for the kids and for you. I can't allow this dig to continue. I know how hard it is, and I hope that you understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pauline? Pauline, it's Emma. It's okay, sweetie. You rest.
Professor Fielding.
We were talking last night. Everyone's really upset about being shut down.
We're convinced that we were this close to proving the colony was here. If we could just...
Professor Markham is worried about your safety. So am I. That has to be our priority.
How's Pauline?
Better. Resting. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. The burn's a little less than pleasant. The sheriff or Agent Connor have any news?
Unfortunately, nothing so far.
I'm sorry, Emma.
Yeah. Sending you messages.
Yeah, every 15 minutes, yeah, I know.
Look, Pauline almost died in this fire, and it must have been Tickner who said it. He's the only one who
It
had
wasn't
the most...
Tickner. He has an alibi, I checked it out. It's solid.
But Pauline's statue. Pauline's statue, it's always there, and it's gone. And Pauline said that Tickner wanted it. Are you positive about his alibi?
He was downtown. 6 different people confirmed that they saw him. Listen, I want to talk about Will Briggs.
Why do you keep asking me about him?
Well, do you know about his last job?
Yes, salvage diving.
For gold coins off the coast of Florida.
He knows that gold coin story is nonsense. We talked about it.
Did you know that he did time?
What?
Yeah.
No.
For diving a rig that wasn't his without a permit. It was tantamount to theft.
There have to be 2 sides to that story. When you grow up with someone, even if I just spent summers here, you know their character.
Well, people change. I mean, sometimes they do desperate things when the going gets rough.
No. I don't believe it.
Look, I understand. He's your friend. You want to believe that he's a good guy.
Are you investigating him?
I suggest that you keep your distance from him. Listen, I'll make an inquiry about Pauline's statue. I'll file it with the Bureau.
Emma.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, I heard about the fire. I tried calling you. How's Pauline? Is she okay?
She's better, but somebody's doing everything they can to get my project shut down. They don't seem to care that Pauline was hurt in the process.
That's terrible. About the other day, I'm sorry that I asked you to make up a story about the coins. I shouldn't have done that.
Forget it. Listen, I need you to tell me about Graham Tickner. Well, help me. Tell me what you know.
I mean, Tickner's trouble, always looking for an angle, a way to make a quick buck.
What?
He's been asking about you.
Menu? No, thanks. Just a coffee to go, please.
Thanks.
Sorry to hear about your stepmom.
Thank you.
She gonna be okay?
She is.
So, with all the problems up at the dig site, does that mean you're gonna have to leave soon?
Not for a while.
Oh. Well, that'll make Will happy, huh? You two seem pretty tight.
Hard not to be. We've known each other forever. Hey, what do you know about Graham Tickner?
Not much. Like most people around here, he takes care to run his own business.
Okay. Thank you.
First person to respond gets to come on an adventure with me.
Mrs. Fielding?
Oh, Agent Connor, right?
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better. I came to ask you a few questions about the goddess statue.
My statue?
Yeah, Emma. I mean, Professor Fielding mentioned that it was missing after the fire.
Oh, no. My husband, Oscar, found it on a dig in Bangladesh about 20 years ago.
Can you provide any more details?
I'll search for Oscar's file when I get home. It'll have everything you need. You can always count on an archaeologist to be detail-oriented.
Yes, I know. Professor Fielding, has she always been so challenging? Or...
If she weren't, would you find her as interesting?
Thank you.
Why are we spying on Professor Fielding?
Because Emma Fielding is in trouble. The body at the dig site, the stolen map, the fire at Pauline's. Look, she must be onto something.
What makes you think that?
Because that's what I would do.
Wait, so what do we do?
We follow.
I don't know, Carrie.
Come on. And get your drone.
Think she's onto something?
One way to find out.
Let's go.
Shopping for collectibles.
Yes, Mr. Tickner, I am looking for collectibles. Both extremely rare and missing.
And you think you'll find them here? Perfectly welcome to look around. There's no need to be nervous, Miss Fielding.
Could you take any longer?
You want it done fast or done right?
Just get the thing in the air, will you?
So, done right then.
There's her car, but where's the professor?
I don't know.
I'd offer you refreshments, but I don't think it's that kind of visit.
Too bad. She might have been nice while we discussed what you took from my stepmother and my dig.
If you're accusing me of larceny, you're barking up the wrong tree.
I don't bark, Mr. Tickner. I bite. Especially when you nearly killed someone I care about.
So now I'm an arsonist and murderer as well as a thief. I was nowhere near her place last night. Agent Connor knows my alibi is rock solid. And now, Professor, I'm afraid it's closing time.
It looks like she's leaving.
I guess she didn't need us after all.
Stay on him. Make sure he doesn't go after her.
You've reached Agent James Connor. Leave a message.
Connor, I'm going to meet Pauline at the hospital. Can you meet me? It's urgent.
Emma.
Hey. I just got some good news from the doctor about your lungs. Said you're doing much better.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I don't know. I couldn't find my way out. Everything was such a blur.
I'm so happy you're okay. The police think that someone may have set the fire intentionally.
Really?
Yeah, I'm afraid this is all because of me. My dig, my investigating. I just can't do this if it's gonna...
Don't you back down now. You do what you do best. Uncover the truth.
No. Look, the dig is important, but it's not as important as you. I mean, I don't even know if I'm right.
When your father published his first paper about the lost colony, it was scoffed at by the entire archaeological community. But your father knew in his heart that he was onto something.
Even though it seemed crazy.
I knew anyone with that much conviction and determination, it couldn't be wrong. That's why I believe in you too, Emma.
Hey, Professor.
Oh, hey, good. You got my message. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about something.
There's been another suspicious death.
What?
Graham Tickner.
But I just saw him.
When? Where?
At his house about 2 hours ago.
Well, that's when the medical examiner estimates that he was killed. He may have been the last person to see him alive.
Explain it to me, Emma. What were you doing here in the first place?
I was convinced he set the fire at Pauline's, and I thought if I could find her statue.
Did you?
No. But I did find beads that match the one I found on the beach. They're right out on the table.
Connor told me about your bead theory. Just not sure that it actually adds up to proof of anything. In any case, you're gonna have to make a statement.
Graham Tickner was alive and kicking when I saw him last. That's my statement.
Not quite good enough. Agent Connor, do you mind?
Okay. Yep. Let's get it over with.
Whose side are you on?
Well, justice doesn't take sides.
The fact that I was at a crime scene in both instances...
It's more than a
is not
coincidence, I understand that.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be condescending.
To me.
I already said I was sorry. I'm just saying that I'm the common link, which means I could be next.
Don't think for 1 second I'd let that happen. Unless, of course, you do something crazy.
Such as?
Well, how about going to meet a suspect without me being there?
Oh,
out Tickner's a suspect? You stood there nodding like a bobblehead when Senator was saying, oh, he has nothing to do with any of this.
I didn't nod like a bobblehead.
Okay, look. Will said that Tickner kept trying to involve him in some scheme.
Well, Tickner's the mastermind, then who killed him?
I have no idea.
Listen, you gotta stand down, Emma, Professor.
I'm a professor. Has a nice ring.
You have a talent for detection. And then photographic memory, so it's... what?
I have an eidetic memory, an enhanced ability to vividly recall images from memory.
Okay.
Look, I know that you and Tony want me to pack up and go home, but I can't leave. Not when Pauline's in this kind of shape.
Okay, I understand that. But you need to just take yourself out of the line of fire. Literally.
Hey, get you something?
Just a black coffee.
Any news in your investigation, Agent? I mean, that you can talk about?
Have you had any inquiries from collectors of recovered artifacts?
Not recently. Why?
We think that this might be the work of an international art theft ring. We've been tracking them in the Northeast. There've been robberies at museums, digs.
Really? So you don't think somebody local from here? No?
Well, that's their method. They hire local people to do the dirty work. That would explain the Augie-Tickner connection.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hello? Hello? Tony! You scared me.
Well, I guess we're both a little bit jumpy. Thank you for looking before swinging, though. I appreciate that. What are you doing here?
Cleaning up. You?
Oh, I just had to pick up some files. How's Pauline?
Improving. They want to monitor her lung for a few more days.
Oh, that's understandable, I guess.
Yeah.
It's infuriating that they haven't figured out who's responsible. At least the fire was contained to the second floor, though. I bumped into Agent Connor. He had some interesting things to say that may shed some light in this situation.
Really?
Yeah.
News to me?
Look, I'm sorry about how all of this has played out.
Yeah.
Well, good night.
Hey, Professor.
Hey.
We're heading back to the dig. I want to map the site one more time with my drone. Do you want to come with us?
Sure. So, Carrie, sounds like Joe's winning you over to his side.
Not entirely. Hey, is there any news from Agent Connor yet?
You're gonna have to ask him yourself. Whatever he knows, he's not telling me.
Professor!
Connor, look, I found a bead. It's a match to the worry beads, and Tickner dropped it right here, right where he would have been dragging the body into the trench.
We have something more important to talk about. The toxicology report came back. Tickner was poisoned.
What?
Agrostemagothogo, plant that's found in this area.
I know what it is. I wrote a paper about it.
You wrote the definitive paper on its use as a poison in the 17th century. I know.
Professor Fielding, I'm gonna have to ask you to come with us. We have some questions about the murder of Graham Tickner.
It's much more than a coincidence, Emma. Graham Tickner, poisoned, with a plant that you've researched after you were the last one to see him alive?
But anybody who read my paper would know about that poison.
Maybe so, but we know you were there around the time he died, and you have a motive.
What motive?
Agent Connor says you were pretty worked up about his raiding your site and nearly killing Pauline.
Have you people lost your minds? Professor Fielding never could have...
What she means to say, Agent Connor, is that we have proof that Professor Fielding is innocent.
Proof?
Take a look.
Watch the time code. She was in Tickner's house 4 minutes. She left, and he followed her out. See?
The poison takes effect immediately. So if she gave it to him while they were together, he couldn't walk out of his house a few minutes later. Tickner was alive when the professor left.
Good work.
Come on in, everybody. I just wanted to say my goodbye. I'm headed back to the college this afternoon as you continue to wrap up the site. And though we were unsuccessful here, I think that you all gained invaluable experience working under our most lauded Professor Emma Fielding.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Markham. And I just want to thank all of you for digging your hearts out. Thank you. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Professor.
Thank you. Oh, nicely done.
Did you always want to be an archaeologist?
Yeah, always. When I was a little kid, my dad took me to see Native American cave paintings, and they just totally blew me away. I'd never seen anything like that before. And ever since then, I've wanted to find something like that. Something groundbreaking. What about you? You must have had this career planned since you could crawl in the dirt.
Actually, 2 years ago, I was an English major.
Wait, English?
Mm-hmm. With a specialty in classical literature. Somewhere along the lines, I realized that I could actually go and visit the ancient ruins where these amazing stories were written, and I've been digging ever since.
We're pretty lucky to be a part of something so historical. Well, almost historical.
I just can't believe this is the end. All our work down the drain.
It's not so bad. Like Professor Markham said, we did gain valuable dig experience. Okay, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Guys, I heard Agent Connor talking about the case last night. He was saying this whole thing could be the work of an international ring of art thieves. Their technique is to use local people to steal precious artifacts.
Wait, but Augie and Tickner are both dead, so who could the local person be?
Lakshmi, goddess of prosperity.
Who?
Pauline's goddess statue. She showed it to me. Professor Fielding said it was missing.
You're thinking they'd be after that statue. So if you find the statue...
We find the thief. Got it.
That's the one?
Yeah, there are only 4 in existence, including Pauline's.
Okay. So, who had the motive and the opportunity?
Professor Fielding's always saying it's not just how to dig, it's where to dig.
Hey, does looking like a bad boy suggest...
You really are bad?
Enjoy.
Nikki, I need to talk to you outside.
I can't get away. We're too busy.
It's about Will.
Cover for me, will you? So, where are we going? I don't have much time.
Trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. Get in. It's important.
What?
I need to show you something.
No way. I can't go with you.
Can't or won't?
Nikki. Afraid there's something wrong with my car? I know you cut my brake line.
What?
Are you trying to scare me? Like how you trashed my hotel room?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, Agent Connor hasn't found a match for those fingerprints. Bet he'd love to check yours. You can talk to him, or you can talk to me. It's your call.
It's Will you should be questioning.
Why?
Yeah, you don't know. You were only here summers. He'd see you and get on his best behavior. You don't want to believe it? You won't be the first woman to fall for his lies.
He looks totally distracted.
Let's go for it.
It's locked.
Okay, he's down in his boat. Maybe we could break in.
We could also do a 5-year stretch for breaking and entering. I signed up for an adventure, not a felony.
Okay, well, maybe he hid the statue outside the shop. That way, if he got busted, he could claim it wasn't his.
Sure. I mean, it's a long shot, but what the heck? You keep it on the boat?
Got it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Will!
Hey, Em. What's going on?
Exactly what I came here to ask you. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you doing? We're drifting from the dock.
Yeah, just taking her for a test spin, just tuned her up.
No, well, forget it. I can't.
Sure, it'll be quick. You probably haven't been on the water since we've been back.
Well...
She's leaving with him. This isn't good.
You can say that again.
Remember when we used to come to this cove when we were kids, talk about what we do with our lives? I used to dream about that back when I was...
Yeah?
Yes, actually.
What happened?
Desperation met stupidity. Corner of bad luck. No excuses, only regrets.
Well, I have to ask you something.
Em, look, I had nothing to do with any of this.
Tigner talked to you. Now he's dead. My dig's been shut down. Your girlfriend Nikki sabotaged my car.
She what? Okay, first of all, she's not my girlfriend, so whatever she did, I knew nothing about it.
So, Tigner, Augie, Nikki, everybody's guilty but you?
Okay. I haven't exactly been forthcoming, I'll admit it. Tigner wanted to get his hands on your map, but I told him I wanted nothing to do with it and that I would report him if you tried. Then when I found out that your map had been stolen, I confronted him. He swore up and down it wasn't him.
You believed him?
It doesn't matter if I believed him or not. I can't afford any trouble, not with my record.
So you let trouble come to me?
He rented my boat. Tickner paid me a lot of money. I didn't ask him any questions, didn't know where he was going with it. And then the next day when I was out on the water, the day Augie's body was found, I saw what was going on over at your dig site.
You lied to me about that.
I saw a yellow jacket, the one that Augie wore. It was on my boat. So I figured he was on here with Tickner. Look, I didn't want to go to jail, so I threw it overboard.
Why didn't you come to me?
What could you have done? They would have said that I was an accessory to murder. A murder that I swear I had nothing to do with.
No.
I mean, they're not going to believe me. I'm a criminal, right? Even you think that. What? What is it?
They found my map and Pauline's statue hidden behind your dive shop.
No. That's not right.
Did you set the fire?
No. I love Pauline.
Did you kill Augie?
No.
Tickner?
Absolutely not. Emma, come on, it's me. You know me.
What do I know, Will?
Look, I have made some mistakes in my life, but I'm not about to let you send me back to jail.
Take me back. Take me back.
Look, I'm sorry. Everything I told you was the whole truth. I promise I had nothing to do with the murder, the fire, or anything else.
Hey.
Hey.
You okay?
Yeah. Good timing on that police boat.
Oh, well, yeah. You have to thank Joe and Carrie for that. And for recovering your statue and your map. It was at Will's dive shop.
I don't think he's the one who took them.
You think he's not involved?
No, I think he's involved. I just think there's something more. Something we're missing.
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to him now. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. I'm gonna go take one last look at the dig site.
Emma.
I see you didn't leave town. Couldn't wait to get your hands dirty, huh? Every trench needs a proper hard edge to measure depth. My father taught me to keep that edge facing the sunrise. Taught you too.
Lessons from the great Oscar Fielding.
Yeah, apparently you slept through some of yours. Otherwise you might have lived up to your potential. Made some discoveries of your own instead of killing to steal mine.
Well, the FBI seems to be under the impression that there's an international art theft ring at work here.
Yep. That was Agent Connor sowing a little misinformation. Like you did with Augie and Tickner when you told them I was searching for the Queen of England's gold coins. Is that how you got him to interfere with my dig? Then they got out of your control? Augie threatened me. Tickner started searching for the treasure on his own. So you killed them both. And you set the fire at Pauline's, framed Will.
That's quite a mess of accusations. Why would I do that?
This whole time you've been trying to shut down my site. Take the glory for yourself. You knew we were going to find something here. Prove my father right.
Your father may have been an absolute saint to you, but he was not to me. He criticized my research, he dismissed my proposals, he belittled me at every turn. He did everything that he could to ensure my failure. I just needed some additional proof here that this is the right place. After some time, I'll secure some more financing and reopen the dig. My dig.
Do you really think I'm not going to say anything? Do you think I'm going to let you take all of this away from me?
Well, I had hoped that you would be smart. And like I said before, your drive, your urge to prove your father right is far too great. So unfortunately, I won't be able to let you leave here alive. One way this is gonna end. Emma, there's no point in running. You best give up, Emma. You can't win this.
We'll see.
I don't know, Markham. My money's on Emma.
Appreciate you showing up when you did.
You had him.
I thought so. Why'd you come out here?
Oh, I brought you something I think you're going to want to see. There we go.
Present?
Not yet. But maybe someday. It's actually evidence. Can we go in to your father's lab?
Yeah. So what's going to happen to Will?
Tampering with evidence. He'll need a good lawyer.
We go back to jail?
That's hard to tell. It would help if he had a renowned archaeologist as a character witness, if you happen to know one.
I think I just might.
I found this at Tickner's.
It's a picture I discovered!
I discovered the picture. I found the picture.
No, you didn't even know
Yes.
what it was until I told you.
I admit it, Professor. We work well together.
We do. I think we deserve a little fun.
Okay. You may think this is fun, but my back is not amused.
Hey, less complaining, more sifting.
You archaeologists, you know, bust into tombs, fight snakes and bad guys, and make off with priceless objects.
Yeah, we do. In the movies. Connor.
What?
Look.
What is that?
It's a theodolite. It's a surveyor's instrument.
Is this the proof that you and your father were looking for?
Yeah.
It is?
Yes.
Congratulations. Well done, Emma. Emma, Professor.